howdy there to all you Kingdom Hearts fans out there. I am TJ Dudley, and let me say it has been one hell of a ride giving you all of these reviews that I've been giving you. To recap all of the Kingdom Hearts games I have reviewed thus far, in chronological order, mind you, has been Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 358 Today, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts Coded. The game that I've yet to review, which is actually the game I'm about to review now, and from the pictures that you've been seeing of the game that I'm about to review thus far, I am going to bring you the final installment of my Kingdom Hearts reviews, which will cover the last game that has just been released not too long ago. Of course, I am referring to Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. Now, considering the fact this game here is going to be the last game before Kingdom Hearts 3 is released. It may already be out by the time you guys actually watch this review, but you know, I'll run with it. But the Keyblade, combination of a key and sword, usable only by the hand and mind of its rightful owner. And of course, those who excel at using the Keyblade are deemed Keyblade Masters. There once was a man named Xehanort whose dark curiosity led him to undertake a dangerous experiment, blending the powers of pure light and the blackest darkness in an attempt to recreate the Keyblade and plunging the world into another Keyblade war. However, he was stopped shy of that goal by his comrade's former pupils. Of course, just me reading the intro of the story here, that ties in, that intro alone, well, that little bit alone ties into Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Of course, when it mentions something about his comrade's former pupils, of course, we're talking about, of course, they're referring to Master Ericus being his former comrade, and his pupils being Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. Now, Terra, unfortunately, by the end of Birth by Sleep, was possessed by Master Xehanort. Aqua ended up succumbing to the darkness, or being swallowed by the darkness, in an attempt to save Terra from the darkness itself. And Ventus, after defeating Vanitas, had his heart lost in the darkness. Now, the beneficiaries of those three people, Sora and Riku, have used the Keyblades bestowed upon them to lock away Bilrold and countless others, and which in turn protected their world, among several others, from the Heartless. They also prevented Ansem, who was heralded as the Seeker of Darkness, from reaching the heart of all worlds known as Kingdom Hearts. However, that came at a price. That price being Riku and King Mickey being stuck on the inside, dealing with the Heartless and the entire force of darkness itself. Now, with the assistance of Donald and Goofy, Sora set out to look for Riku and King Mickey. This is where the storyline of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories come into play. As if you remember, Chain of Memories starts off with Sora, Donald, and Goofy looking for Riku and the King, which in turn leads them to Castle Oblivion. Now, while the events of Chain of Memories are going on, and Sora ends up finding Castle Oblivion, Sora also runs into Naminé, who at the time was a manipulative witch who undauntedly had the power over Sora's memories, along with the main antagonist of Chain of Memories, which was Organization 13, which was comprised of 13 powerful nobodies. While Sora was going through Castle Oblivion's upper part, going up to the very top floor, which was the 13th floor, Riku, having facilitated his escape from the darkness and still battling the darkness within his own heart, was making his way up from the bottom floor up, while Sora in the end defeated Marluxia. Riku, having reached the top basement floor, managed to defeat the Ansem that was still lurking inside his heart. This is where Diz actually reveals himself in full and gives Riku the choice of either going through of either taking the path to light or taking the path to darkness. Having assumingly from my point of view being dissatisfied with choosing either the light or the darkness, Riku chooses the middle road, which he called the road to dawn. Now with Riku mentioning the road to dawn, to me, basically gave way for Riku to obtain the Keyblade properly named Way to the Dawn, which he uses in accordance with the darkness that was still left in his heart. Now, around the same time, of course, you'll see the end story that's far of what I'm telling you in the actual official strategy guide of Dream Drop Distance. But meanwhile, Roxas bursts onto the scene and joins Organization 13. With Roxas joining Organization 13, starts off the story of Kingdom Hearts 358 today. And during Rox's time during the organization, he becomes aware of there being another Roxas-like person, so to speak, along with another member of the organization, Shion by name. I think I pronounced that right. Who just happens to be an imperfect clone of Roxas. After Roxas defeats Shion, Shion reveals that Xemnas is going after Kingdom Hearts. Of course, at the end of Kingdom Hearts, Xemnas was defeated at the hands of Sora and Riku. This was after Xemnas made one last attempt to take Sora's heart. Now, with the world seemingly back to normal, and Sora, Riku, and probably back on Destiny Island, Jiminy Cricket, Donald, and Goofy return to Disney Castle. This is where Kingdom Hearts Coded comes into play. And this is where Jiminy tries to go about trying to find out where the mysterious note of Fake Nominate first appeared, which the phrase itself appears originally in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories just before Sora and the gang was put into deep slumber and remained in Jiminy's journal throughout Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, whether Jiminy and the gang at Disney Castle was able to solve the mystery behind the fake nominate phrase that was left in Jiminy's journal between Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2 is yet to be seen. One thing was for certain. Sora and Riku did indeed prevent the world from being succumbed to the darkness, and they did indeed stop Ansem and Xemnas from reaching Kingdom Hearts. However, in doing so, they have also brought back inadvertently the new antagonist, well, actually the original antagonist that started the entire series altogether and plunged 3 Keyblade wielders into darkness and almost succeeded in dragging Sora in. With Master Xehanort returning, it starts up a new game, new adventure, along with some new foes and some new allies. That's going to be it for this episode of my reviews. We actually get to dive headfirst into the game itself. But when I come back, I'm gonna give you guys the new modes that you'll partake in this game. I'm TJ, and let's get to dropping, shall we?